Okay, so what did I do with my... Great, okay, so let's make a start. So just have your feet shoulder width apart and sink the hips back and down. Yeah, we'll just go through, we'll look at the stepping bit with, we'll look at some footwork today. Breathing in and out, sink the hips. So really sink your hips, relax the shoulders, breathe in and out, and then turn the waist. So let go of the arms. Make sure your knees stay in line with the toes, so just draw the toes in, nice and tall. Breathing, relax around the jaw. Keep breathing some more. And then we'll do it with a turn, so turn, turn. Make sure your knee is in line with the toes. So nice and tall. Sink your weight. Keep breathing. And then very gently raise the arms. One more time each side. Shake out. Check your posture. Gently breathing in and out. Sink the hips. And then just bounce. And keep bouncing. Just tune into your body. So really let the muscles soften. Just gently breathe in and out. Four, three, two, one, and shake. So definitely as I've been doing more shaking, it's changed and feels a little bit more connected. Still not 100% right, but you just want to relax but connect at the same time. So you're sinking the hips, and as you sink the hips back and down, that brings the head up naturally. And bounce. Very good. Just get back into that bounce, and then we'll just do this one. So we're breathing. Very good. Relax around the lower back, and then I just want to have a look today at that stepping for the going from one side to the other, that 180-degree turn. It was quite a useful leg merging exercise. So just let the arms, again you're connecting and you're keeping this structure through the arms. Open the hands, relax the wrists. 4, 3, 2 and 1, and then we turn the palms of that up and you get this nice opening feeling in the chest. I'll just show you that from the diagonal view. Opening feeling in the chest, you're looking forwards, you're listening behind, you're breathing. So yeah, it doesn't really matter where you train. If you're practicing, you can practice outside, you can practice inside. It's all fine. There's no, I mean, I like to go outdoors to do some practice, but I don't have to. I practice indoors as well. I do everything. So. 4, 3, 2 and 1 and change. So let's just get that right. Sorry about that. I'm going to take a slightly wider stance and we'll just set it up correctly, because it's very tempting to get your hips moving too much. So you want to move in a efficient manner. So if we just transfer the weight, we're just going to practice transferring the weight just to get that just so, and you've got the head floating up. So the hips are sinking, and then just notice your breathing. So just notice when you're breathing in, and notice when you're breathing out. If you slow it right down, you can match it in with your breathing. So for example, you could breathe in as you go across, breathe out as you sink, breathe in as you go across, breathe out as you sink, but that might be a bit too slow. We could do it faster and maybe do two moves per breath. In breath, out breath, something like that. So you can use the breathing. Okay, now we're going to transfer the weight and we're just going to turn, but staying. So this is a bit like when you're doing your hook punch. You wanna stay. When you're doing your hook punch, you want to stay solid rather than leaning over. You want to stay down. Hook punch, you stay down. We'll have a look at that later, because I was thinking about the biomechanics. We were looking at punching a bit on, let's go back to this one. Just transfer the weight and then very deliberately turn to the corner. Now when you notice you turn into the corner, this one kind of opens and this one shuts a bit. Then you come, sig and turn. And we're doing that. And we're all breathing. Transfer, turn. Exciting, huh? So keep breathing. Okay, now trying to stay upright, and then we. This is all very useful stuff for when we're doing the turning, because I want to spend some time on feet today, as we've got this hour. And speed up a bit. You might need to. You can move your feet back in to normal Wu Chi. Now we've sort of established that. See if that's made any difference. And you want to really relax. So it's like you ease yourself into the correct movement, then force yourself into doing it a certain way. So you want to just let the arms relax. But pop these back on in a bit. Let's check how we're doing for time. Yeah. Just show you that from the back. So one in front, one behind. One in front, one behind. And you're using your eyes, so you want to practice this soft focus gaze, and from the side it looks like this. Hang on, I'll have to come in a bit, because otherwise I'm going to whack the wall. So, and really loose, and we're all breathing very nice, very nice. So like this. So try and in the middle, try and come up like this, just for now. Drop. And the arms drop and fold. Arms drop and fold. Drop and fold. Drop and fold. So try and come up like this with the arms outstretched rather than too bent. Keep breathing. Use your eyes. Sleepy tiger eyes. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Very good. Posture check. Oh, lovely. So we're just getting ourselves just so, and then we go, oh. Keep going. Ah. Okay, I was wondering what that noise was. It was Mark Peters on YouTube. Oh, how silly. Keep going. That's it. I was like, I'm sure I've got this over radio. It's because YouTube was running at the same time. I thought I'd switched it off. Oh well. So we're just doing this, and we're just nice and relaxed. Oh, marvellous. And then, there we go. Just let the palms relax. Relax your palms, relax the wrists. Especially relax the wrists. We're all very tall. And we're all breathing. That was so good. We'll do 4 more and do something else. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll... So keep your arms long on this one, just for now. So it's just something Mike was working at a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and I sort of caught it off him. So you imagine you're moving through water, and imagine the resistance. And turn the waist, very nice. Keep breathing, marvellous. Relax around the jaw. Breathing in and out. Four, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. So let's do that one. That's starting to work, isn't it? I'll do it bigger, so slower and bigger. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm making it circular. I'm just allowing the circular movement to come out. So it's all in the hip, it's all in the waist, the feet and the waist. So I'll push down with my feet, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'll turn my waist, have a look from the side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, very good. And back. Like that. Okay, let's do that one. So you go like this, there, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Okay, then like this. So you turn, you keep your hands where they are, you turn. Then you come back to the middle. We're just doing it in slow motion. This is a trial one. So we're doing the trial one and then we'll do it properly in a minute. So you have your hands like this, you turn, down in the middle, turn, down in the middle. Let's try that again. 1, turn. So you wanna keep yourself. I'll come a bit closer and think about your posture. So So it's very similar to doing this thing actually. Let me see, where's the weight? So yeah, the weight's in the middle. It's like when you're doing the first, if you go back to doing the first loosening exercise, I'll show you that from the side. So you do that and you're turning, except you're going turn, 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 turn. Yeah, we'll do that first, just to get that mechanics right. So it's 2 turns, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you're turning your body like this. It's all moving together, so you're connecting the head with the middle, so you're turning like this, turning like this, turning the other way, turning the other way. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. And you want to be connected. So you want your chin tucked in. And do it again. So turn twice to one side and turn twice to the other. Go on then. 1, 2, yeah. Yeah. That's better, yeah. That's a bit more connected. That's good. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So then if your arms are like that, when you do it, 1, 2, and then 1, we'll leave out the middle bit. We'll leave out the middle bit for now, just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 2 turns per side, 1, 2. So it's like you come to turn the other side, but you change your mind and do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's great. Okay, and then if we do the full movement of that section of this, it goes 1, 2, stop in the middle for a bit. 1, 2, stop in the middle. 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's a little bit, if you see my arms, I keep it there, then I kind of have a bit of an extra stretch. So you do move your arms a bit the second time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's better, isn't it? Keep breathing. Marvellous. Right, then we do the big one and the little one in the middle. So he does the big one and the little one. So it's a big one, little one. Big, then swing. Big, then swing. Big, then swing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Fantastic. And then the final one, we'll do it so that the square shape, look, this is the square shape, right angle. So it's like that. Like that, square shape. It's a square shape. And then, hang on, trip hazard, remove the trip hazard. So, and you know the corners, so we've got the corners, and we transfer the weight, turn to the corner, we'll just do that, sink back down to the middle, transfer the weight, turn to the corner, sink back down, transfer the weight, turn to the corner, sink back down, transfer the weight, turn to the corner, sink back down, transfer the weight, turn to the corner, sink back down, transfer the weight, turn to the corner. And we'll do a double one, so we go 1, 2, come back, 1, 2, and then when we do it with the arms, it's 1, 2, 2, bounces. 2. Lots of 2s. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Great. Okay. Let's have a look at. We'll just do this one. So just do a few slow ones. Make sure we're correct. Then we'll speed it up a bit, and then we'll have a look at that turning thing. So we sink back, we sink forward. You want to stay upright, and also I'm not too far forward with that foot, and I've got a good shoulder width gap between the heels. So you have a shoulder width gap between the heels. You draw the toes in. You're sinking. Sink down through the front foot. Sink down through the back foot. So we're sinking. Yeah, now we've not got the distractions of extra YouTube channels on at the same. That was silly of me, never mind. We're nice and tall. And then we sink and turn. Sink and turn. So what you want to do is you want to maintain the alignment of that knee with the toes. So the knee stays in line with the toes, you sink back and turn, this stays down, sink forward and turn. Sink down, really feel your feet. So you want to, it's this solid connection through the feet, very strong connection through the feet. So, no Darren then, it's probably a bit early. Yeah, we're the early birds. Yeah. It's actually quite a nice thing to do. If you do a load of Tai Chi and then you have a big cup of coffee, it's a really good way of just gently waking you up, you know. That was so good. We'll do that on the other side. So we'll do the forward and back first. We do the Wu Chi first. Wu Chi. Then Gong Bu, bow and arrow stance. Then we go through the front foot, through the back foot. So you want to relax around these muscles all around here. That you're letting go, and you're sinking, and then because you're sinking your hips, when you sink back, you sink down into that back foot, down through the front foot, down through the back foot. So we're not sticking anything out too much, and you want to be this bit, the head floats, but the hips sink. So you want to get the sinking. So sink back and turn, sink forward and turn, sink back. Keep breathing. Relax around, relax your muscles around the face. Just get all that, and relax your muscles. Okay, now we're going to do 2 turns. 1, 2. 1, 2. So with this one, you've got to really watch your posture. So we're not going at super speed. We're going at snail kung fu speed. So really practice your focused gaze, focus of attention. So we're just turning to the corner, turning to the front, turning to the corner, turning to the front, turning to the corner. That's all you're looking at. Watch the alignment of the knee. So you wanna take your time to feel your way into the right way of moving, into the correct way of moving. You just take your time, and you're using your senses, and let go with the shoulders, and we're all breathing. That's nice, isn't it? It's good to breathe. This is leg murdering 101. Okay, oh my goodness me. And we're going to go forwards and back. So we just go forwards and back, and we're just nice and relaxed. So again, really let your arms soften the arms more, and take the emphasis away from the arms, and emphasize more what's happening through the feet and the legs. So feel your legs more, focus on the legs more, and then that will quieten the arms down. You want your arms as quiet as possible, because you want to feel what's happening in your body. So when I was learning off of Master Chung, he often used to go shh, shh, and point at my arms too loud. So make your arms quieter, much quieter, much quieter. Okay, and try that the other side. So we set up from Wu Chi first. So you get your Wu Chi right, don't just rush into it. You get your Wu Chi, then you place your foot, and then you adjust, and then you sink. So sink, check your alignment through the spine. Then once you've got that, then we do the 2 turns. 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep your arms very quiet. But feel the connections. Keep sinking. Sink, 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 sink. We're sinking. So we're not overdoing it today, but I'll show from the side. I'll show from the side view. 2 in the back foot, 2 in the front foot, sinking the hips, breathing. That's it. So you stay upright, nice and good. Good posture. And then 4, 3, 2 and 1. And we go forwards and back. So again, get the arms very relaxed. Imagine you're moving through water with the arms, and you just want to mainly use the legs. I'll show that from the sideways view. Side view. So we're like this. We're not overdoing the arms. We're mainly focusing on the legs. And we're breathing. Keep breathing some more. Relax around the jaw. Very nice. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness me. Oh, my legs. Whew. Well, so we just go like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, free, and you can lift up, wiggle, like that. And then come back. Yeah. Okay, let's stop for a bit of water, and then we're going to have a look at that turning thing. And probably not do that much today. Right. Oh, water is very good, isn't it? Highly recommend drinking water. It's good stuff. Right. So, I'll just demonstrate for the purposes of the video. So it's like when you do the inspect the horse's mouth, roll back, ward off, double-handed push bit. You sink back, you turn, you push out, you gather under, hold a ball, and then you do it again. And then so we could do it as a little foot exercise. So we start here, you sink back, you turn, you transfer the weight, you go into cat stance. You step, you sink forward. You sink back, you turn, you transfer the weight and go into cat stance. You step and sink forward. You sink back, you turn. So we're just doing that as a thing. So yeah, let me just move that back a bit because I haven't quite got enough. Move that back a bit and we'll go like that. Right, oh, move this unsightly mess. So start with your left foot forward. Left foot forward. Now sink back, turn, 2, 3, transfer the weight, 4, cat stance. That foot might need to be turned in if it's not quite facing the corner. Then you sink your hips, you step heel, toe, transfer the weight. Tall through the body, so you want to check that you're nice and tall. So this bit needs to be sinking down so it brings the head up, and you want to make sure your chin is slightly tucked in. Then you sink back, turn, transfer the weight. Turn that foot right in, so then when you transfer the weight and then turn, then you're already facing in the correct place, and then you step, heel, toe, sink. Breathe in, sink into the back foot. Breathe out, transfer. Step. Sink back, turn. Transfer the weight. Come back to there. Step, heel, toe, and sink. So we're back where we started. So the important thing, just relax, is when you're doing this exercise, you're getting that shoulder width gap, hip width gap between the heels. So if I do it like this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So we're doing a so if I do it from here, it's got my weight forward, and then I sink back, I turn, I transfer the weight, come round, I step, heel, toe, sink, turn, transfer, step. So we're just going to do that. So it's a full 180 degree turn. So we go all the way from one side to the other. Sink, step, step, transfer the weight, sink back, turn, transfer the weight, go into cat stance, transfer the weight. I'll just show you that from the side, that view again, and then we'll do it with the inspect the horse's mouth, etc., just to get that. So you start from here. Left foot forward, sink into the right foot. Hold that position. Turn the left foot. Turn, 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 turn. So you're turning with that hip closes. Close the hip of the left. Transfer your weight into the left. Sink down. Let the right foot move. Now you're in right cat stance. Right cat stance. Now step out to shoulder width with the right foot, transfer the weight. Actually, I'll come this way a bit, transfer the weight. Sink back into the left foot, turn, close the right hip. Close that hip, now you transfer the weight, sink into that leg, release the left leg, turn the right foot in a bit, so that you're in cat stance, facing that wall, then you step, heel, toe, transfer, sink, transfer back, turn, transfer. Right, okay, for fun, let's do it. We'll start from here, hold the ball. And then we're going to do inspect the horse's mouth, roll back, ward off, double-handed push. We'll just do it. We'll do it really slowly together. So step, heel, toe, and you're in shoulder width. Try and get to shoulder width. Then you transfer the weight, turn the waist. Now when you roll, when you turn, just turn the hands over in as efficient way as possible. And you sink back, turn, and so that your fingers point to the back corner. Fingers point to the back corner. And the palm is over your lung 1 point. Then you turn to the front. Now you transfer the weight to the front. Separate the hands, sink down. Keep the elbows in front of the middle, so you're not going back, you're going slightly out. Then double-handed push. Sink the hips. So you want to stay upright. Now you sink into the back foot, sink into the right foot, point the hands forward, zombie styley. Now bring your hands in turn. Bring your hands in turn. And you're resting on a ball. So then you transfer the weight, you push out, sink into that, down into the back foot, down through the back foot. Then you release that right leg and then adjust that foot. So I turn the foot in because I didn't turn it round enough. And then we're in cat stance, in hold the ball. Right cat stance. Now we're going to move our right foot. It goes out and forward, so you want to sink. So, and relax that knee. And then you transfer the weight. Inspect the horse's mouth. Now making a small turn. So now this is palm up, palm down, sink down. Point to the back corner with your fingers, sink the hip more. Now turn to the front, stay in the back foot, sink forwards. Separate the hands, sink your hips down into the back foot, relax the hands, and then sink into the front foot. And then we'll do that again. I'll just go this way a bit. Now we sink back, turn that foot in, push out, sink into the back leg but down into the back leg, gather under, hold the ball. Cat stance, adjust the feet as necessary. Then you step into bow and arrow stance, keep your weight back, heel, toe. Transfer the weight, turn the waist, inspect the horse's mouth. Small turn with the hands, sink into the back foot. Turn the waist, back corner, roll back. Turn the waist, keep the weight in the back foot. Now you transfer the weight into the front foot. Now you separate the hands. Now you sink down into the back foot, sink into the front foot. Sink back, sink into that back foot. Turn, bring the foot in, turn, hold, press down, transfer the weight. Gather under, hold the ball. Step. Inspect the horse's mouth. Small turn. Transfer the weight first, then the hands follow. Turn the waist, then the hands follow. Turn the waist, hands follow. Transfer the weight, ward off. Long through the spine, sink the hips. Open and double-handed push. Sink back, turn. Push out, gather under, hold the ball. Okay, nice. Let's go through the first half of the form. First half of the form. Breathe in, breathe out and begin. 1, I'll do the counting. 2, bring the hands in. 3, sink. Sink, 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 hands float down. 1, transfer the weight, raise the hands up. 2, 3, turn. 4, push out, gather under, hold the ball. So you've got your left cat stance. Left cat stance, I'm mirroring. Step, part the wild horse's mane. Sink back and turn. Sink forward. Step, part the wild horse's mane. Maintain the focus of your attention. 3, 4, sink forward. Final time. 1, step. 2, transfer the weight and turn, part the wild horse's mane. 3, sink back and turn. 4, sink forward. Cat stance. This time I'll show from the side. Side step. 1, side step. 2, grasp the sparrow's tail. 3, white crane spreads its wings. And 4, 20% of the weight in the front foot. 5, 6. Brush knee and push. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brush knee and push. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brush knee and push. Final time. 1, 2. And then spear hand. 1, spear hand. 2, cut down. 3, 4. And then step back and repulse the monkey. 1, turn. 2, turn. 3, 4. Turn. Turn on the ball of the foot. Step out and back. Repulse the monkey. Turn on the heel. Turn on the ball of the foot. Step back. Repulse the monkey. One more time. Sink forward, turn to the front to hold the ball. Now go into cat stance. Actually, I'll come forward a bit. Then you step, inspect the horse's mouth, roll back. So what we've just been doing forever, all class, ward off and double-handed push. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do the counting. Oh dear, dreadful. 1, sink back. 2, turn. 3, push out. 4, gather under, hold the ball. And we do it the other side. 1, 2, inspect the horse's mouth. 1, 2, 3, roll back. 1, turn to the front. 2, ward off. 1, 2, 3, double-handed push, and then we go 1, 2, 3, stroke down, 4, 5, single whip. And then we go into wave hands like clouds. 1, 2, 3. Then we step, rotate, shift, step, rotate. Nice and relaxed. Step. Step out for the second time. I've almost got enough room. Step out for the third time. Not quite enough room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Okay. Oh wow. Epic. So I didn't get to do any of the Fasun Gong. Sorry about that. Or we'll have to do it on Monday when we've got a bit longer time. So we're just turning. Keep breathing, marvellous. So just to give you a heads up, there's no class on the 21st of November because I'm learning stuff in Birmingham. I'll remind you, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. There might be a Travelodge class in the evening though, because they're quite fun, those ones, aren't they? Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Live from the Travelodge. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe. That was good. And then we rub the hands together so we look super young today. And rub the hands together again and we just go, ah! So yeah, focusing the brain, very useful, very useful. Maintaining that focus of attention. So we're just, because then when you start getting that, then like if I'm standing in the kitchen in Cambridge, and my housemates are about, and I'm just thinking about something, being very, very still and quiet. They sometimes don't notice that you're there because you're not moving around and jiggling around. So if you can be really still and really focused, and then you go, oh, hi there, and they go, where? And it's quite fun. So there we go, we breathe in. So keeping nice and still right to the end of the class. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. 2, and one more time. Oh, fantastic. Well, sort of that kind of pace seems to work quite well. Doing not a lot in an hour seems to work quite well. Okay, so make a fist with the right hand, left hand over the top. We bring the feet together and bow. Woo! Great. Well done, us. Fantastic. I'll stop the recording. Stop recording.